The reason the Iranians call it the 40th night is because remember, not only is the winter solstice very powerful because this is the day or the energy cycle where we always use it to go to different galaxies and to harness more energy, right? And to build up planets and realms. That's what we did. A lot of stargates and portals always opened on the winter solstice, right? That's also the day that they entered onto our planet through the portals in the Caucasus Mountains. All right. When they actually found our planet, this is why they celebrate the winter solstice, the Iranians, right? And they call it the 40th night. Why 40? Remember in the Bible when they told you that Moses led them out of Egypt, the Israelites, and we know who the Israelites is, the Israel, because a lot of people, black people and Latinos keep thinking we the Hebrew Israelites. We ain't no fucking Hebrew Israelites. You know why? Because Israel, where did he get his name? What was Israel's real name? His real name was Jacob. And then he wrestled with an angel and became Israel. Jacob represents Yaqub. There were no Y's, so they put J's. All right. I told y'all that Yaqub's other name is Satan, Zeus. All right. I told y'all that they spliced the black and brown germ to create these human beings. In the Bible, they tell you about Jacob separating the flocks. Let's pull it up. They speak about Jacob separating the flocks. Okay? Jacob separating the flocks in the story of Genesis. In the Genesis story. All right? Jacob separated the flocks. Okay? Let's look at what the flocks were. This is all symbolic of Yaqub splicing their genetics on Nern. Okay? They put the story in Genesis and called him Jacob. They took the Y out of his name. All right? Check them out. Jacob set apart the young flock by themselves, but made the rest face the streaked and dark-colored animals that belonged to Laban. Thus he made separate flocks for himself and did not put them with Laban's animals. Jacob separated those lambs from Laban's flock. Okay? Now, hold on. How did Jacob separate the flock? Here we go. Hold on. He separated the dark from the white. That's how he separated the flocks. This is how Jacob separated the flocks. Okay? Now, so I showed y'all that. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Okay. So now I showed y'all that real quick. So we can continue. So I showed y'all that real quick. We can continue. All right. So Jacob separated the flocks. Okay. So let me go back to what we was at about the winter solstice, and we talked about the 40th night, right? All right. So in the biblical part in Genesis, when they talk about Jacob separating the flocks, remember there were no J's back then. His real name was Yaqub. That's only telling you the story about when I told y'all how Yaqub, Satan, Zeus, same person, he spliced the cell. And by splicing the cells within our goddesses, he removed the mitochondria and discovered two germs, or black and the brown germ, and he spliced those germs and discovered by getting to the nucleus that there were 48 different variations of the shade black, 16 shades of black, 16 different shades of brown, and 16 different shades of yellow that exist inside the mitochondrial DNA, which is inside the nucleus and the membrane that's inside our cells. All right? This why they said Jacob separate the flocks. That's when Yaqub was going through eugenics. They telling you the story in secrecy in the Bible. Now remember, Jacob then later wrestled with an angel. We are the angels. Remember that. So when Jacob wrestled with an angel, Jacob is Yaqub. Yaqub is Satan. That's the same story of when we whooped they motherfucking ass, nigga, for trying to create them. We whooped Jacob's ass. Let me talk in their code. We whooped Jacob's ass for trying to separate those flocks, nigga. Yes, we did. That's why they told you, and that great serpent Satan was cast out of heaven. And that's why they also told you in Jacob's story, in Jacob later, after separating the flocks, his ass went and wrestled with an angel, nigga. All right? So, when he wrestled with that angel, then he took on the name Israel. So the Israelites will be the children of Jacob. There are 12 tribes of Israel, right? There are 13 original bloodlines, right? It's really 12. Satan makes the original bloodline, 13. Okay? So the 12 tribes of Israel is symbolic of the 13 bloodlines, 12 plus 1. The 12 tribes plus Satan, the originator, who created them. All right? So you can't say you're a Hebrew Israelite because you're saying you're one of your human beings. Israel is Jacob. Remember that. He changed his name after wrestling with us, after getting his ass whooped. See what I'm saying? Then he changed his name to Israel. And the reason they told you he changed his name to Israel is because Satan took on a million names after we whooped his ass. He turned himself to Zeus. His real name is Zeus. After we whooped his ass, then he turned his name because he a bitch. So he tried to hide behind names. He's a bitch. So what he did was he started going under Satan and Yakub and Prometheus and Enlil and, you know, all these other names and shit like we don't know this is bitch ass. You see what I'm saying? We know that's you, bitch ass little boy. See what I'm saying? Hiding behind these names. And that's what they telling you about in the Bible when they say Jacob wrestled with an angel. And after wrestling with an angel, he changed his name to Israel. The Israelites will be the children of Jacob. So the human beings are the true Israelites, nigga. Now that we know the human beings are the true Israelites, let's get deeper. Wasn't Moses trying to free his people from the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites? Wasn't he trying to free them, right? Yes, he was. From Egypt, wasn't he? Remember I told y'all that Egypt, if you break down the etymology of Egypt, it means mansion. You feel me? Egypt ain't nothing but mansion for the spirit, man. Feel me? We could break down these etymologies. We've done this in past lectures, okay? So when they was on Egypt, that's really symbolic of them turning on their creator, Satan. And then they were cast to Egypt, where they were then later freed. They signed, these human beings signed a soul a contract. They don't have a soul. They made a covenant with the draconian reptilians. And you know what I'm saying? And they vowed to help them destroy us. This is what really happened. And then they set off on their ships and came and found our planet. But when they was looking for our planet, it took them a long time. It took a long time for Christopher Columbus to find that portal that led them into our planet. Right? That's why they always worship Christopher Columbus, bitch ass, and say he discovered a new world. But that's also the symbolic, that's the same story they told you in the Bible about, oh, and they found the promised land, and they were walking around the promised land for 40 days and 40 nights. They told you that, didn't they? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Let me show it to you. Because I like when people think that I don't know my shit. You know what I'm saying? Just as I don't fuck that goofy ass Bible. And I can tell you all about it. You know what I'm saying? But they walked around 40 days, 40 nights looking for the promised land. Or 40 years, I think. Some shit like that. Yeah, 40 years. See what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the flood story when it rained 40 days, 40 nights. All right. Oh, no, it is 40 days. The Israelites. Oh, no, you're right. It's 40 years. I'm looking at the exact. Here we go. I just pulled it up. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Let's go. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, pay attention, y'all, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord swore that he would not shew them the land, which the Lord swore unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and honey, nigga. Right? So they was walking around the promised land for 40 years looking for the promised land, and they was already in it. Okay? That is symbolic, family, of this right here. Hold on. Winter solstice. What the Iranians do? The Iranian people celebrate this night of the winter solstice, and they call it Yalda night, which is known to be the longest and darkest night of the year. Yalda night celebration, or some call it Shabe Chale, the 40th night, is one of the oldest Iranian traditions. So they celebrate this and they call it the 40th night. Why is it called the 40th night? Because this is how long it took their ass to make it to this portal, which they found, which put them on our planet. And the day that they came to this planet, they call it the winter solstice, and they celebrate that shit. All right? They call it the winter solstice because with them, they brought winter and sub-zero technology onto our realm. Nigga, I just gave y'all the decoding on this shit, man. Y'all better drop some snorkel emojis. You feel me? This what this story meant, and that's why I showed y'all about Egypt. All right? Because Egypt is where they was on planet Egypt. All right? Here we go, y'all. This got to be your first time in class. This got to be her first time in class, family. So, I'm going to get on that in a second. Look, y'all, 40 years they walked around looking for this motherfucking promised land that was in it, right? And also, if we go further into the story, let me pull it up. They gonna tell you about how when they went in the promised land and they saw giants. Let me pull it up. Let me decode this shit for y'all. Because they were scared to go into the promised land, nigga. They was looking for the promised land for 40 years. And when they got there, they sent scouts into the land. And when the scouts went into the land, they saw giants, nigga. And they was scared to go out there, nigga. They went back and told them, like, man, we ain't going out there. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking giants out there. They was scared, y'all. I'm finna bring up the quote. And then break everything, tie it all down for y'all. Tie it together for y'all, man. Hold on, okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hold on. So look, I got enough right here for y'all to see. All right, so check this out. Okay, so check this out. Now, they was looking for the promised land for 40 years, right? And then when they got there, Moses sent 13 spies. How many spies did Moses send to the promised land? Number 13 is the key passage on giants in the land of Canaan. When Israel left Egypt, we know who Israel was, all right, and was in the wilderness seeking to enter the promised land, Moses sent 12 Israelite spies, one from each tribe, into Canaan. Canaan is really our planet. Fucking Moses would be fucking the God, or actual God that was one of us that helped them do this shit. The 12 spies is the 12 different tribes, a member from each different tribe, right? And they came onto our land, nigga. And when they came out them portals in the Caucasus Mountains, this is what they seen. Caleb and Joshua had different eyes in their hearts. They saw the giants, but they saw God, and his strength was more. They believed he would conquer and lead them in victory because of their faith. They were the only men who were allowed to go into the promised land after the 40 years of discipline were completed, nigga. They came out them portals, y'all, and this what they saw. You feel me? Check this out. Let me read it, y'all. This is what these human beings saw. Because this is the story, y'all, of what the human beings saw when they first came to our planet. Check this out. Let me read it. This is what they saw when they came out the portals, nigga. This is in the Moses story in the Bible, nigga. There were also many instances of giants and look what number they used. This is in Numbers 13, y'all. If y'all want to go look it up in the Bible, it's in Numbers 13. They chose that for a reason. Remember, they wrote the fucking Bible, y'all. They wrote the Bible, y'all. So they just telling y'all what was going through. It's all a code. I'm just breaking it down for y'all. Check it out. In Numbers 13, we read the story of Moses sending out the heads of the families, 12 leaders, to spy out the land that God promised them. Who was God? Their God is Satan. Their God is Zeus. Remember, Zeus is one of the gods, nigga. And who are they? They are the kids of Zeus. You see them? So that's why they spied out our planet, because Satan had promised them our planet. Let's read it again. All right. Moses sent out the heads of the families, 12 leaders, to spy out the land that God had promised to give them. Even though these men indeed found the land to be a place of milk and honey, as God had promised, that means that they saw this land to be beautiful. Our planet was beautiful. But check game. Let's see what they saw. Well, let's see what else they saw. The leaders of these families gave a bad report back to the people when they said the land was a land of this. Now, this is what they said they saw. This is what they saw when they came out the Caucasus Mountains, nigga. The land was a land of milk and honey, but there were people who were very strong and very large. We were as grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we became in their sight, in the sight of the giants. Consequently, because of this bad report, these men swayed the people to disbelieve in the God's ability to provide for them. And so the result was 40 years of wandering in the desert, nigga. All right? I decode this shit for y'all, man. My name is Divine Insight for a reason. I have divine insight, family. All right? So this is why these Iranians call y'all the night, the winter solstice, the 40th night, because and the Iranians are what? Arabs, so they are humans, nigga. And these humans remember what they went through to get in our shit, nigga. And when they first came, they saw that when land of milk and honey just means that it has a lot of resources. So this just means our planet had a lot of good resources. But they ass saw that we was giants, nigga. So they didn't come out the portals. They wandered in space for another 40 fucking years before they finally came in, nigga. And that's why they call it y'all the night, the Iranians. So winter is what we was trying to figure out. What is winter? Remember, winter, they said it's the winter solstice, and it's snow, and it's freezing temperatures. That defines winter. So we just broke down what the snow is. It's ice crystals, technology that comes from the sixth universe. And now we just decoded the winter solstice. All right. This is why I keep telling y'all, stop saying y'all fucking Hebrew Israelites. That's for white people. They are the fucking Israelites, nigga. Because Israel was, the real name was Jacob, and he wrestled with that angel, or they should have put the truth. He got his ass beat by these angels, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And changed his motherfucking name. I told y'all we whooped his ass, nigga. We whooped his ass so bad he changed his name to Israel, nigga. That's how bad. Y'all still think I'm lying? We was whooping they ass. I'm trying to tell y'all, G. That's why in the Bible, Jacob wrestled with an angel when he changed his name. Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up for the non-believers. Let's pull it up for the non-believers. What's religion to a God? What's religion to a non-believer? Let's pull this shit up for the non-believers, man. Because they think they Hebrew Israelites out there. So let's show them. What's a king to a God? What's a God to a non-believer? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let's let the laptop chill out. The laptop jumping right now. Like, if I flip the camera around, y'all gonna see my laptop just. It's the energy, y'all. Okay. It's the laptop, y'all. Hold on. Yeah. So let me close it, open it back up, man. Yeah, I did. So when I went to the laptop to come back on, you calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite. Israel's first name was Jacob. And then he got his ass whooped by an angel. He got his ass touched by an angel. You feel me? He was touched by an angel and he changed his name to Israel. Hebrew Israelite. For all my gods and goddesses out there calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. G, stop playing with our history like that. No motherfucking Hebrew Israelite. You a god. I keep telling y'all that shit, man. Y'all want to be Hebrew Israelites, Africans, African Americans, Crips, Bloods, GDs, Vice Lords, Pimps, Hoes. Damn, you a god. Like, what more? Damn, G, like, Hebrew Israelite. Must I keep decoding that you niggas is gods? Like, what more do you need, man? But here we go. Let's go ahead and decode Jacob for them real quick. Because this is all got to do with the winter solstice. In winter, Jacob wrestled, with the angels, baby. Pull it up. Where is it at? Okay, here we go. So, for everybody thinking they Hebrew Israelites, we know that Jacob is Yaakov, and that after he separated the flocks, he created these Israelites. They are his kids. These are Satan's star seeds. Okay? Check this out. I'm gonna hit y'all with that next. Okay. Why did Jacob wrestle with the angel? Jacob wrestled with the angel because he stole Esau's birthright. He was trying to steal the birthright from Esau, nigga. Remember, Jacob stole the birthright from Esau. Okay? And they stole our birthright. This whole Jacob story is symbolic of what the fuck they did to us, nigga. I advise y'all go read it. Because they tell you what they did. Just know who Jacob really is. Jacob wrestles with God. That night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone. And a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Okay? There we go right there for you. This really said God. They put then the man said. But it said then God said in the King James Version. Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God. And who is God? Us. And with humans and have overcome. Why did he struggle with humans? Because it was a struggle to create this new species. Okay? So this is what they're trying to tell you. But in reality, Jacob got his ass whooped, went to Ner, and he couldn't hide behind Satan, couldn't hide behind that Zeus name no more, because he feel unworthy of that Zeus name. Okay? Remember, Satan's real name is Zeus. But he fell from, look, when they talk about these fallen angels, yes, Satan is a fallen angel. But what are the angels? The angels are another name for us, the gods, nigga. So yes, Satan is a fallen angel because he is one of the gods. If you fall from your grace, that makes you a fallen angel. You get what I'm saying? We are the angels, nigga. We are the angelic beings. So when they telling you about Jacob wrestling with wrestling with the God and changing his name, that's just about the story of him getting his ass whooped. Now check this out. It's finna get deeper. It say, who was the angel that Jacob wrestled with? What was his name? This finna fuck y'all up. Archangel Peniel, or Phanuel, which was really short for Peniel. Some people identify Archangel Phanuel as the man who wrestles with Jacob because of the connection between Phanuel's name and the name Peniel, which is Peniel. This is the name Jacob gave to the place where he struggled with the man. Okay, so The angel that Jacob wrestled with name was Phanuel, which was short for pineal. This is symbolic of the pineal gland. Okay? And they say Jacob gave they say this is the name that Jacob gave to the place where he struggled with the angel. So that's the name of the place. It's the Phanuel or the pineal, right? Jacob being who? Satan, Yakub, pineal. This is the place where he wrestled with God at. Pineal, his third eye. He fell from grace. He struggled with himself. His war was with himself. And remember, I told y'all Satan war Zeus, stepped outside of himself. And out of jealousy toward us, he created these human beings. That's why they're telling you that Jacob, Yakub, Satan, wrestled with an angel. And the angel's name was Phanuel, which is from the root word pineal, which comes from pineal, which is short for pineal gland, nigga. Man, y'all better drop the motherfucking snorkel emojis, man. Don't play with me like I don't do this shit. Nigga. Jacob, there you go. Now y'all know who the fuck he really is. Satan, nigga. Satan, nigga. Even told you that when he wrestled with the angel at pineal, Archangel Phanuel, I just pulled it up. Archangel Phanuel. The connection between Phanuel's name and the name pineal or pineal, because this is the name that Jacob, Satan, gave to the place where he struggled with the God. Nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. Now we rise. You see what I'm saying? They be trying to get in here like I'm not from another universe. You feel me? Like I keep telling y'all, family, I'm from the 8th universe, man. Like this shit, break this shit down for y'all all day like this, man. Like, you know, I'm just showing y'all, you know, fucking Hebrew Israelite, man. Like,